Welcome back to our YouTube channel, Book Talks Podcast. This is Kayla, and today I'm going to discuss the books that I've read this summer. So I had originally planned to do this monthly, and then I just didn't have my life together enough to do that. So these are the books that I've read between June through August. So this was not a crazy reading summer, just to preface it. I ended up moving out of Manhattan in July. I moved out to Long Beach and Long Island, and I've also been training for the New York City Marathon, which has taken up a lot of my time. Like, I do listen to audiobooks while I run because I just can't listen to music. Or I do sometimes, but I get bored easier. So I just do a lot of audiobooks, which I enjoy as well. But even with the audiobooks, I haven't read that much. But just to get into it, I'll start with the first book I read. The summer kind of merged together. So I don't have the books I read in June. These are just the books I read this summer. So the first book I read was One Golden Summer from Carly Fortune. I was fortunate enough to get this copy from Berkeley. So thank you, Berkeley, for sending me this. I was really excited. I feel like this was everywhere in the start of summer. It got me in the summer vibe. But I was a little hesitant because there was I think it was the second book in the series. I honestly couldn't even tell you what the second book of the series was about because I was bored. I did not enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the first one. So the reason why I think I love this one so much is because it brought back to the people from the first book. Because it's kind of it's a series, it all takes place in this one island, but the characters all don't interconnect. I feel in other romance books that play into couples, they all have a connection, but that's not always the case unless I'm just missing the connection. But this one, it was the brother from the first book. I loved it. I loved the grandma story with it. Just feel it got me in the summer mood, and I really adored it. And I felt it was a great book to kick off summer with. And I gave it a 5-star read for me. The next book I read was Sunrise and the Reaping from Suzanne Collins. This was a podcast book, so if you want more of my thoughts on this book, then listen to our podcast episode. I'm going to link it here. But I don't have a copy of this one yet, so I got those really pretty ones. I don't know if they're special Barnes & Noble edition, but they have sprayed edges and they're paperback. And they don't have it released for Sunrise and the Reaping yet. I actually don't even know if they will, but I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping they do because I want them all to match. So I didn't buy a copy of this one. I did listen to this one a mix of audio and physically reading it. The audiobook was really good. I really enjoyed the reading of it, and I'm so excited for the movie to come out, and I feel the casting was just perfect on this one. But overall, I gave it a 4-star, just because going into it, it's going to be a sad story. We know where Hamish ended up on the Hunger Games in the first chapter. It was hard to get started because I'm this is gonna be sad, but it was really good, and I thought it was better than Songbirds and Snake. But yeah, make sure to listen to our episode and to get more of my thoughts on that. The next book that I read this summer was We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This one I read because I wanted to watch the Amazon show and I wanted to read it first, so I waited, and I'm actually really glad I did because I think the show would have hit a lot different and would have messed me up more emotionally if I didn't go in there prepared and having read the book. This one, I enjoyed. I thought the ending was shocking. I was blown away. I would say I only gave this one a 3.5 because I listened to audiobook. It got boring at times, especially the narrator. I'm honestly blanking on her name right now, but she is, I feel she's on purpose annoying. She complains a lot. She's poor me, boo-hoo. And I understand that's the point of the story, but also listening to a girl just complain on audiobook all the time, you're oh my god, shut up. Especially when I was running, I was I'm so bored, and this run is so hard. I was just waiting for it to get interesting, but at the end I was I was blown away. So it was good. I would read it, especially with the show coming up. I would read it. I do recommend it, but it was not my favorite book that I've read this summer. The next book I read was another podcast book, and this was Problematic Summer Romance from Allie Hazelwood. She is just an author from me. I adore her. I didn't know if I'd love this because I'm not a big age gap girly, but honestly, anything she writes, I'm gonna read. And if you want more of my thoughts, just I'm going to link my other episode here, but make sure to follow that episode if you want to know my thoughts and Marissa's thoughts as well. But that was a 5-star for me as well. So the next book I read, and this one was like strictly audiobook, was Happiness for Beginners from Katherine Center. I was just recording my weekly vlog of reading, so I discussed this there, but I've been on a huge Katherine Center kick. Like, even we just read the Love Haters from Katherine Center for the podcast. We're going to record that this week. So I've been trying to read all her books, and I've just been listening to her audiobooks, especially when I'm running. They are just like really great to read. They're like low stress. They're not cheesy. They don't make me cringe. So they're good audiobooks to listen to when I'm running. This one is my least favorite book of hers. It was just, I think it actually is the reverse age gap that I don't love. But I don't know, I just didn't love it as much as I loved the other ones. The other ones, I'm like, oh my god, this is the cutest book I've read. But I also looked at the trailer for the like movie that came out with it, and the cast is just like so not what I pictured. Like, even down to like the whole group, like the hiking group that she was with, like no one was as I pictured in that book. So I haven't even watched the movie. I don't know if I ever will watch the movie. But again, love Katherine Center, love all her books. That one was not my favorite, so I gave it a 3.5 stars. The next book I read was Atmosphere from Taylor Jenkins Reid. So we've been a big Taylor Jenkins Reid fan on the podcast. Like, we've covered, I think, all of her books, and we were going to cover this book, but we were really pulled to Silver Leet instead, and we just like had a lot of things going to read in our schedule, so this one like just kind of fell off our list. But I ended up reading it anyway. I listened to an audiobook. The thing about Taylor is she's a really good character writer. Like, she writes really great characters. She develops them really well. I just feel like her stories like lack a big plot, and I think that's probably her point. I just want something a little more like, why am I reading this? It kind of feels like it feels like I'm reading a TV show and not reading a movie. But I like the characters. I like reading about the space part. I think she does a really good job immersing you in different experiences. Like, she's had us become rock stars. She's had us become tennis players. She has become astronauts. And I really feel like I'm in it. I mean, I'm not any of those things. So maybe she's off the mark. But I felt like I was an astronaut reading Atmosphere. And I felt like I was in space. And I think she does a really good job in that aspect. I just wanted like a little more conflict and a little more plot there. Maybe I'm alone on that. I think I am alone on that, because I think this has really good like ratings across the board. It just wasn't a hair book I read this summer, but that's fine. The next book I read was Silver Elite from Danny Francis. This is also a podcast episode, so make sure to listen to our episode to know more of my thoughts on this one. This one I rented at the library because since moving, I had to downsize my bookshelves a lot. We are only in a one bedroom with my boyfriend, and I used to have like 4 bookshelves in my old apartment, and that was not gonna happen in this apartment. I only have 1 bookshelf, so I got rid of like 100 books. Put another 100 books in storage, and I have 1 shelf for just my favorites. Actually, this would probably get on there, but I've just been really trying to just rent from the library and go to the library, which has been good for me, especially I'm a mood reader. I just like pick up books as I'm in the mood for, and sometimes I pick them up from the store and then I don't read them because I fall out of that mood. So the library prevents me from doing that, because I can rent something and then just not read it. So it's been really fun. I've enjoyed it. I had to go to like 3 towns over to this library just to get it, because it's definitely like a hot book, and they only gave me 2 weeks to read it, which was fine, but it is a thick book to get through. But once I was like halfway through, I couldn't put it down. This one was a 4-star read for me. The next book I read was The Rule Book from Sarah Adams. So I've been seeing Sarah Adams, I feel like, on Instagram like for years, and I've never picked up anything by her previously. So I picked this one up. I probably should have picked up the first book in this series. This is the second book in this series, but it was fine. Like, it could be read as a standalone. I would say I think she's a very cheesy author. Like, I just feel like her romances are very cheesy, and they're cute. Like, I mean, they're really good, fast reads, but I just felt like a little cringe sometimes. And I also read another book, which I'll discuss in a minute. So I don't know if I'm just reading the wrong Sarah Adams books. I do have the cheat sheet. I'm going to give that one a shot. Maybe it's a little different. But right now, I'm not loving her writing. So if you have ones that you love from Sarah Adams, I'm just reading the wrong ones, like, please let me know in the comments, because I want to like her. Like, everyone has been reading Sarah Adams and likes her. I just currently am not loving it. So I give it one a 3.5. There's so many romance books that I like, authors that I will devour anything they write, like Hazelwood, Emily Henry, Elsie Silver, Anna Hong, like those books, like I never have an issue getting through with them. This one I was like, I'm cringing a little bit. The next book I have is What You Wish For from Katherine Center. This one was one of my favorites from her. I like still think about it. Like, again, I read a lot of romance books. Like, that's my genre of choice. So a lot of stories go in one ear and I forget it like 2 days later. This story like has stayed with me. Strictly audiobook listen to this one, especially like I remember the roads I was on when I was listening to this, because I liked it that much. I don't know, sometimes I have like scents when I listen to, when I smell certain candles. I'm like, oh, I remember reading certain books. Now it's gotten to the point where I remember certain roads when I'm listening to them. And that's where we're at with What We Wish For. This one was a 4.5 star read for me. Again, I just love Katherine Center. The next one I read was When in Rome from Sarah Adams. It was a 3-star. It was like my lowest rating book this month. Was not a fan. And it had like everything that I love in a romance book. Like, usually like small town boy, pop star, and normal person fall in love. Like, it had the things that I love in books. It just wasn't it. I don't know what it is. Am I reading the wrong ones of hers? Am I the outlier here? I might be the outlier there. But yeah, read When in Rome, got it from the library. 3-star read for me. And then the last book that I read was also a podcast book that we're posting this week, is Not Quite Dead by Holly Jackson. This one, again, we got from the publisher, which I freaked out for because we have been requesting Holly Jackson's books for years to cover on the podcast. They have never sent them, and we cover them anyway because we love them so much. So very excited about this one. This was not my favorite of hers, but again, I am a Holly Jackson stan, so I'm for it. I've been to a lot of events at Barnes & Noble, and my second favorite to this day is Holly Jackson's, because she's so funny. She is like, she has such pizzazz, such presence, and she makes her characters have that as well. She's so good at writing main characters, and they're so witty. Big fan of Holly Jackson, but this book overall was a 3.5 for me. But you'll have to listen to my podcast to get more thoughts on that. But I'll wrap it up here. So in total, I read 11 books this summer. I'm hoping to pick up the pace a little bit and just make reading more of a priority for me, especially as I get more into marathon training. Like, I have 18 miles to run this weekend, so I gotta get a really good audiobook queued up for that, because I have a couple hours for that run to listen to books. And yeah, I'm currently reading If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia, which I'm really enjoying. And then I'm also currently reading Wildcard by Elsie Silver. And I'm probably going to find another Katherine Center audiobook to listen to at my next run. So that's that. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and follow us on Instagram, TikTok at Book Talks Podcast.